Hello everyone and welcome to the program Business Point on Global Television. I am Samuel Odi. So today we'll be talking business from different angles, looking at the brighter side, despite the fact that there are lots of queues in different areas or different states of the nation, even the FCT included. Dangote Refinery has come out to say on a daily basis they'll be releasing 25 million liters of fuel to the general public. And also, sadly, the last month, in the month of August, the Nigerian FX reserve suffered a dip, and then there's also a bit of dip as well being suffered by Nigerian Naira. But before we get in deep into the conversation of today and the business of the day, let's play you this quick report from Kikelomo Okere. Please do stay with us. We'll be right back.
The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority NMDPRA has finalized an agreement with the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited to sell crude oil to Dangote Refinery in local currency, the Naira. This is contained in a statement signed by NMDPRA in Abuja following the commencement of petrol production by Dangote Refinery. This development is in line with the recent approval by the Federal Executive Council to sell crude oil to Dangote Refinery in Naira, as well as purchase petrol products from the refinery in the local currency. NMDPRA also confirmed that Dangote petrol production, adding that the refinery will produce 20 million liters of petrol in September. In another statement, the Chief Executive Officer of Dangote Refinery, Aliko Dangote, says the deal to sell crude oil to refinery in Naira by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will reduce pressure on foreign exchange by at least 40%. The dollar index remained near its weekly high, while the Nigerian Naira fell below a key support line. The local currency dropped below 1,600 Naira per dollar, support level in the black market. Black market fundamental indicates renewed demand pressure and an expanding supply gap, leading to another round of Nigerian depreciation. The Naira fell below from 1,625 Naira per dollar last weekend to 1,635 Naira per dollar yesterday. The local currency is under severe pressure this month, struggling to maintain the critical 1,500 Naira support level. According to market indicators, despite slight improvement in some macroeconomic conditions in the Nigerian foreign exchange market, fundamentals suggest that if the local currency cannot maintain its current level, it may decline towards 1,800 Naira per dollar. Even ardent supporter of free market economic may now doubt that the Naira will strengthen to its March high this quarter. The Central Bank of Nigeria plans to issue Treasury bill value at 2.2 trillion Naira in the fourth quarter of 2024. This substantial issuance, a direct response to the nation's current economic difficulties, aims to stabilize the Naira while managing liquidity in the financial market. In response to soaring inflation, the Nigerian Apex Bank has adopted a tight monetary policy, rising interest rates on Treasury bill notes to provide more incentive in the Nigerian capital markets. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has criticized dealers for inflating the price of Boa cement to 7,000 Naira and 8,000 Naira per bag, compared to the company's recommended price of 3,500 Naira. The FCCPC disclosed these in a statement in response to remark the organized private sector regarding retail sector oversight. FCCPC recently clarified its one-month embargo given to traders and other market stakeholders involved in the exploitative pricing. Kikelomo Okere, Global Television News.
Thank you so much, Ikenlomo Okere, for that business update. The president of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, has presented the first sample of premium motor spirits, commonly known as petrol. Dangote made the presentation during a broadcast at the refinery located in Ibeju. In the test run of the product. He says, this is what Dangote has to say. I would like to commend the people of Nigeria and the government of President Bola Tinubu for providing us with the platform for growth, development, and prosperity. I also want to thank him personally for introducing the idea of exchanging crude for Naira. The initiative will contribute to the sustainability of the Naira. With the refinery in operation, we will have a clear picture of Nigerians' true consumption. We will be able to track every truck and shipload, he said. So he also stated that the refinery would meet the demand not only for Nigerians, also for sub-Saharan African countries. Dangote and the other local refineries have repeatedly accused the international oil companies of not selling crude to local refineries. Recently the federal government of Nigeria announced that the crude oil supply deal on commenced in October. So officially, despite the back and forth with international oil importers and crude oil sellers, there have been a whole lot of grifts even within the NNPC and Dangote refinery before the president had to step in and order the NNPC to exchange crude for Naira. In the main light, or the main reason of doing this, is just so as for Nigerian Naira to be able to rebound and be able to compete with other currencies in the global market. Looking at these angles now, Nigerian Naira and oil has been the backbone majorly for Nigerian development in terms of exportation and all of that. But now, all of those now are looking so good, and we're hoping to see that despite the long queues that are being witnessed within Abuja and every other part of Nigeria and the high cost of PMS, we are hoping to see that if this product hits the market starting from this month and beyond, we would hope to see a change. So looking at it now from other aspects, now oil supply deal will commence in October. That's looking at it from Dangote refinery to other African countries. It's obviously going to, wave and then also make impact in other African nations. But we are expected here in Nigeria to start having Dangote's products in the market. The management of Dangote Group also claimed that the IOCs insist on selling crude oil to their refinery through foreign agents, assessing that the local price of crude would continue to rise because trading arms offer cargoes to $2 to $4 per barrel above the NUPRC official price. The Dangote oil refinery will supply a total of 25 million liters of petrol to Nigerian markets daily starting from September. The Nigerian midstream and the downstream petroleum regulatory authorities disclosed this. This will raise to 30 million liters from September. In a short statement, the NMDPRA said in a statement that Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to agree on local crude supply to refineries. At the NMDPRA headquarters in Abuja, the NNPC reached an agreement to commence crude oil sale and supply to Dangote refinery in local currencies. So this is on a good note, and then on a lighter note that shows that if this does happen starting from this month, the prices that we are seeing currently is obviously, hopefully, going to crash down. We'll be going on a quick break, and then when we return back, we would be looking at the FX reserve that suffered a dip in the month of August. Please do stay with us. We'll be right back. Many thanks for staying with us. If you're just joining, this is Business Points on Global Television. I am Samuel Odi. Yes, sadly, the FX reserve, Nigerian Forex Exchange FX reserve, has suffered a dip by amount of 505.68 million US dollars. That is at 1.37%. Decline in the month of August 2024. This is according to the latest data on the reserve from the Central Bank of Nigeria. The marginal decline in the country's external reserve collided with the Nigerian government's issuance of a $500 million domestic dollar bond, which is expected to provide much needed support to the external reserve. The persistent decline comes after a 4-month period of about $4 billion US dollars growth in the external reserve. It also means that the reserve has lost about 12.64% of its 4 months gain in the month of August. So this is looking so bad for the FX reserve. And then despite the fact that the first week of August, the CBN has sold over 800 million over 800 million US dollars on auction to banks and as well as private exporters because of the grains that are expected to start hitting Nigeria from the end of this month. So looking at that now, despite the increment and then the uprise that the Naira and as well as the FX reserve has gained in the past 4 months, it suffered at 1.37% decline because of all of this. The interesting thing about this decline is that just a few people know is further highlights the struggle faced by Nigerians' financial authorities in maintaining reserve levels amid the ongoing economic pressure, including the need to meet import demands and debt obligation, as well as manage liquidity for the Naira stability. In the first week of August, like I rightly mentioned, the Central Bank of Nigeria sold 876.26 million at 1,495 to a dollar to 26 qualified banks at least in the latest retail Dutch auction. All of this happened so that there will be availability of dollar and as well as for the Naira to gain momentum in order to be able to help export and import businesses move swiftly. But now it looks as if this is now coming back to bite the Nigerian FX at its tail. According to the statement from the CBN, for the Central Bank of Nigeria, a total bid of 1.18 billion US dollars was received from 32 dealer banks. However, bid from 6 banks were disqualified as 4 banks did not meet up with the deadline, while 2 did not provide bids in their submitted templates. Aimed the decline in the FX reserve, the Nigerian official foreign exchange FX market experienced a market decline in turnover in the month of August, despite the initial retail auction. So all of this was done and was conducted by the Central Bank of Nigeria so as to see that the FX reserve would be able to spike up and then hit a different milestone and then hope to see a growth. But now that is not the case. How do we come out, or how do we reserve from that? So now policies and things are being set aside for all of this not to happen, so that the FX will go back to its winning ways of actualizing and again maintaining that profit margin that it gained from the past 4 months. Looking at it now, it suffered a 12.87% decline, and then we're expecting to see that forecast has actually shown that in the coming weeks and months that the FX reserve is actually going to hit back and then spike, despite the fact that it's suffering a bullish sign at this point. So we are expecting to see that it spikes up and then hit the margin. So data obtained from the FMDQ by correspondent says that 1.8 billion, with the total turnover falling to 3.25 billion US dollars from 4.34 billion dollars recorded in the month of July 2024. This decline is suffered by 25% highlights in the ongoing challenge faced by the official FX market in terms of liquidity and stability. The average daily FX turnover decreased from 189 $99.42 million in the month of July to $144.71 million in the month of August, reflecting to a 23.6% reduction. This decline suggested a significant drop in the market activities, indicating the increased difficulties in accessing foreign currencies. So bringing you, let's just back this since we're talking back about the month of August. So all of this happened in the month of August, despite the fact that the Nigerian naira was, gaining momentum in the FX market, but the foreign reserve itself was facing a serious decline. So a whole lot needs to be done, because liquidity and stability is the end goal here, not just putting a short-term policy that is going to help the naira just gain value, and then at the other end, at the backlog now in the foreign exchange reserve, is going to be suffering a decline. So in the month of August 19, the federal government of Nigeria actually issued a $500 million domestic bond. This bond, part of the government's financing initiative, has a 9.75% annual interest rating that it's set to mature in 2029. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, stated that the $500 million domestic bond will enhance its external reserve and help stabilize the foreign exchange situation in the country. So things now, like I rightly mentioned, the Minister, CBN, and the Minister of Finance, they are all doing things together, putting heads together, so as to see that in the long run now, we would see a specific increase and then a balanced stability in terms of liquidity and stock as well. So all of these things now are like being affected. Every sector has been affected by all of this spike and then the decline that naira and then the FX reserve suffered. So with all this being said, we are hoping to see in the coming months, and looking at the forecast that has been released by economists and the CBN, we are hoping to see a bullish sign and then see a spike in the coming weeks and months. Let's move on as we talk about the current exchange rates between Nigerian naira and the dollar. The local currency slumped against the heaven currency in the foreign exchange market and official trading section of the month, while the dollar index showed some gains on just this past weekend. The naira settled at 1,598 naira to a dollar at the official market window, according to the data from Nigerian Autonomous from the exchange market, slightly higher than 1,593 naira to a dollar traded, still last week. The volume of the dollar trade turnover in the market increased by 11% to $172.8 million from $155.52 million traded still in the early hours or in the first few days of the month of September. At the black market, the domestic currency depreciated to 1,625 naira in the parallel market and aimed to increase effortlessly by the Apex Bank, which stabilized in the country's FX market. The recent depreciation highlights that the complexity of Nigerians' foreign exchange market, where in the supply of dollar in the frequently insufficient to meet demand, especially during periods in high economic activities, consequently in the margin between the parallel market and the NAFM, that is AFME rate, went to 27 naira per dollar from 21 naira per dollar last few days. So all of this is what we're looking at, and then we're looking at the forecast now we are all still bending down to the forecast, what the forecast is saying. Yes, Nigeria, from the month of April, May, June, and July, the Nigerian naira and the forex exchange reserve, had a spike, but coming down to the month of August, we suffered a dip. So this dip now is something that's has crippled lots of angles and businesses. So we are hoping to see that this focus and then the projection by the CBN and the Ministry of Finance and other economics is actually going to show that statistics would spike up, and then we are hoping to see a bullish sign of the naira to dollar and also a spike for the foreign exchange. That's how much time will permit us to take on today's edition of Business Points. My name is Samuel Odi. I'll see you again tomorrow with another exciting edition of the program. Bye for now.